Hey everyone, thanks for joining us here at Floify. I'll give everyone just another minute or two to join, so sit tight and I'll get started here soon. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started now. Welcome to our Tips and Tricks webinar. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. My name is Drew. I'm a member of the support team here at Floify, and I'll be walking you through the borrower's experience. From clicking on your application link, providing their information, and uploading documents, today we'll go through it all. During this presentation, if you have any questions, comments, or feedback about the borrower side of things or any other functionality in the Floify platform, please use the live chat feature on your screen to reach us directly. My fellow team members are standing by to address any questions or comments you may have along the way. If you have a personal wish list or any recommendations for features you would like us to cover in upcoming tips and tricks webinars, please send your ideas to us through the live chat as well. We would love to hear those. So why is it important to know exactly what your borrowers are experiencing? The simple answer is so you can deliver an amazing mortgage experience. The best brokers and originators are earning repeat and referral business by differentiating their process. Clients come in return based on how smooth and transparent their process is and how valued they feel. So how do you make your process smooth to allow you to really focus on your borrower and build that relationship? Getting familiar with and replicating the borrower's experience yourself can prepare you for those questions or concerns your borrowers may have when steps of your process rely on automation. Let's do just a quick overview of the topics we're going to cover. First, we'll cover the best practices we've seen our customers use to send out the application link. We'll then cover the borrower's application process and what happens after they hit the submit button. Next, we'll go over the ins and outs of the borrower's portal, and then we'll go over the email cadence so you know what emails are going out to your borrowers and when. So let's hop to it. There are multiple workflows we support to get your application into your borrower's hands. One, from your Floify account, you can head up to your Prospects tab and locate your links there. From there, you can copy the link and email or text the link out to your borrowers. Two, from the landing page. On the landing page, there is a share this page link that you can copy the shareable link. And again, you can email that out to your borrowers. And thirdly, you can add a new prospect to send out an automated email inviting the borrower to the loan, again, from your Prospects tab. If the borrower's access is not delayed, they will get a start your loan application email as soon as you save the prospect. They can click on the link in the email to set a password and go directly into the application. Now, if you choose to delay your borrower's loan application access, you can edit the borrower's loan application before ever sending your borrower an email. Once you're ready to invite the borrower to the application, you can customize the email sent out to them. Customizing the email is only available if you delay the borrower's loan application access, however. So let's put this into action. Up on the top here, I can go ahead and click Prospects. And on this page, I'm going to have access to my borrower links. I can click the box here and I'll have access to my landing page. I can simply copy this and send this out as needed. You can send this out in your email or you can send this out in a text message. Or you have the option to select your Apply Now page. Same thing with this link, you can copy and paste it. In this instance, it would just take them to a page to begin applying. Now, the second place you can find your application link is if you go to your landing page. This is what your landing page looks like for those of you that are familiar with it. Now, on this page, you have a share this page link. Now, if you click on this, you have a shareable link. You can click on that, and of course, you can copy this link. You can send it out however you deem necessary. Or you can simply plug in your borrower's email address here, and you'll have the option to send that out via email. It'll ask you what email provider you use, so you can log in, or if you're already logged in, it'll just pull up the compose email tab, and you can customize that if you need to, and send it out to your borrower that way. And thirdly, if we go back to your prospects page here, again, just click prospects up at the top. It'll bring you here to your prospects. Now what you can do from here is you can click Add New Prospect. This option will allow you to enter an email address, your borrower's first name, your borrower's last name, and then you can choose to delay the borrower access, which just means that you can have your borrower receive an email immediately, or you can delay the borrower access if you want to work on their application for them. So let me go ahead and type in an email address here. I'm just going to put Drew plus Billy borrower. First name, let's go ahead and say Billy, last name borrower. I'm not going to put a preferred name in here. If you don't put a preferred name, it's just going to pull from the legal first name, so we'll leave it as is. Now, if I choose not to give my borrower the delay borrower access, when I click Save Prospect, my borrower is going to get an email immediately. Now, on that email, they're going to have an option to click on a link, and if the creates an account setting is turned on for your borrower, this is something that you can change in your settings, whether or not you want your prospect to create a password right away. But if that is turned on, the borrower will get an email that says start your loan application, and then they can click the link to set a password before they go into the application. Now, if your account, instead of the creates an account setting, has the borrower receives a verification link setting turned on, when they receive the email, it's going to say click the link to begin applying. And when they do that, rather than creating a password, they're taken directly into the application. They'll be able to create a password later in the process. Now, the other option that you have is if you choose to delay your borrower's loan application access, when you click Save Prospect, they're going to get an email that says click the link to begin applying. They're going to set a password, and then they're going to go into the application. All right, so now that I've added that borrower and I've given them the delay borrower access, I can see that Billy borrower has been added to my prospects pipeline. So here's Billy, here's his email address. There's no phone number at this point. Now, under the action column, you do have the ability to edit the prospect loan application. So if I click on this link, it'll open up the application, and if I'm working with them over the phone or I just have some of their basic information to begin the loan application, I can go ahead and start filling that information in here. Now let me go back to my prospects page. Again, I can go ahead and review Billy Borrower here. Now you'll notice that since I delayed Billy's access, at the end of the action column, I'm going to have this little clock icon where I can invite the borrower to the loan application. So when I am ready to invite Billy, I can click on the icon, and here is where I can customize my message to Billy. Now there is a default message, but this is the only way that you can customize this message is if you delay the borrower access. Just be sure not to change this link at all, as this is the link that will bring them into their specific application. When I'm ready, I can click send, and that email will go out to the borrower. Now let's take a look at the borrower application process from their point of view. Now, whether a borrower starts an application by clicking apply now on your landing page and entering their email and a password, or if they receive an email from you with the link to click, the application process is the same from this point forward. Once they click on the link, they're going to get taken to a register page where they can enter their name, their preferred name, and they can plug in a mobile number as well. Now, the first thing that they're going to see on this page, well, maybe not the first thing, but they will have the option to opt in to receive text message alerts regarding the application. So from this page, they can say yes or they can say no. And we do have the fine print down below as well, so they know what they're opting into. Now, once they finish the setup, they're going to get taken into the application and they can agree to the terms of use and privacy policy. Now they can go ahead and click Start Loan Application. And I do want to point out that if you do have any Spanish speaking clients that you work with, we do have Spanish subtitles available as well. If these are enabled from your application settings, the borrower can click up top, subtitles off right now, and they can choose Espanol as their preferred language. Now, this isn't going to completely override the English context here, but it will add the Spanish subtitles that you can see here. And as they go on to the application, it'll continue to have these subtitles here. Now, if you do have Spanish subtitles enabled, one of those options as well, when you go to view your borrower links, you'll have Spanish subtitles available. Now, if you decide to send this link out to your clients, the Spanish subtitles will automatically be on the application when they get in here. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off for the remainder of this. Any questions that you have marked as required will show a red asterisk next to the question, so the borrower knows that they do have to fill these questions out. So if I want to plug in a date of birth, maybe a social, I can plug that in. And then the borrower can continue through the application. Now you can see it's real easy to navigate through the system. It's broken down into 5 different sections, but the borrower can skip around if they want to. So if they want to skip ahead to employment, they can. They can skip ahead to assets. They can go back to loan info. So it makes it real easy for them to skip around. Now, same thing if a borrower ever logs out. Let's say that the borrower can't finish the application for whatever reason and they need to leave. They can go ahead and click their email address in the top right corner and they can click exit. Now, the next time they want to log back in, they can do so from either the login page, which you see here, or they can go back to your landing page. And in this instance, they can just click login to pick up right where they left off. So if I go ahead and click login, let's go ahead and put my email address. I think I said Billy Borrower. Application in progress. So they're going to see this message here. The email address you provided is already has an active application in process. Check your email to find the application click or resend link below to access your application. So if needed, the borrower can click resend link. Again, they're going to get that same email. They can click on the link here and they can log right back in. And you can see they pick up right where they left off. Now, when they're going through certain sections as well, we have something called geolocation turned on. So if they're going to be plugging in an address based on their current location, if they start typing that address in, we're going to give them some suggestions. So wherever they are, they can go ahead and select their address. We're going to plug in the city, the state, the zip code. This is just meant to save the borrower some time and help them fill in the address as necessary. They can plug in a move-in date. Actually, let me move that back a little bit. And they can select rent or own and move on through that application. Now, once they get to the end of the application, when it's time to review and submit, they have all of the different sections that they can review. So again, they can confirm and make sure all of their details are accurate, and then they can continue to submission. Now, as long as everything, as long as all the required fields are filled out, they can move on and they can submit their application. Now you're ready to submit. Now on this page, they're going to have to e-consent and they're going to give a borrower credit authorization, which means that you can go ahead and pull their credit. Now this is optional. The credit authorization, that is e-consent, is going to be required, but if you choose not to collect the borrower's credit authorization at this point, you do have the option of turning that off. Just a heads up on that. And then the borrower can go ahead and click Submit Application, and it lets them know that the application has been submitted successfully. Now, what happens after the borrower submits the 1003? If you have auto convert enabled, the borrower will be logged into their account where they'll have access to the document requests that are triggered. Now, these requests are triggered based on the auto doc request business rules set up in the apply now settings, or the quick pack if automatic doc requests are not set up. The borrower will also be sent the needs list email at this time. Now, when they click close, they're going to get taken directly into their portal, and they can immediately start working on their documents. We will provide them with a 5-step onboarding process as well. They can go ahead and click Let's Get Started. We'll walk them through how they can upload or add additional documents if needed. Now they can also decline certain documents. So if there's a trash can icon right here, let's say you're asking for a divorce decree, but they've never been divorced, they can provide you with a reason as to why that's not applicable to them. And then of course the most important icon is the up arrow that they can click on to upload their documents for this request. And if you happen to include a PDF or a sample of a document, they can go ahead and download that document as well. Now let's finish in record time. So that when the borrower is ready to go, they just click I'm ready and they can start reviewing these documents. Now, on the other hand, when the borrower finishes the application and you don't have the auto convert turned on, the prospect will sit in your prospects tab until you convert it right here on this page, until you convert that to a live loan flow. Once you go in and convert the application to a live loan flow, the borrower is sent the needs list email template and will be taken to either set their password or to log into their account. Now let's go back into the borrower's portal and review that a little bit more in depth. Now I'm back into the borrower portal. As you can see, the borrower's view is extremely similar to your view when you click on the borrower's loan flow using the red, yellow, or green buttons. I have my Documents tab, my Docs Owed, Docs Pending Review, and Docs Accepted. The borrower can see the milestones and the loan deadline right above their documents. And they can also see the loan flow name. They can see the lender's contact information if they need to. And then let's go over the action icons for the borrower's documents. So if we look down to the bottom right corner here, we have the action column. We have the eyeball icon to view the template or the sample documents. So if, for instance, a borrower doesn't know what a bank statement looks like, they can click on the eyeball icon and they can review this document so they know what they're looking for. The down arrow, again, is to download the template or sample document that you've included. Now the up arrow icon will be used to upload the borrower's documents to this particular request. And then again, the trash can icon will be used to declare the document as not applicable. Now for this one, let's go ahead and say we want to upload a bank statement. The borrower can click on the up arrow. They're going to see a window here where they can upload their document. They can go ahead and click Browse, and then they can attach their documents here. Now, if a borrower wants to upload more than one document, that is possible for the same request. All they need to do is click Add another doc to upload. This will allow them to add a second document to this particular request for bank statements. All that's left for them to do, since there's more than one document being attached, is to go ahead and give a title of the document. So let's say Bank Statement 1, and for the second, I'll say Bank Statement 2. And once they click Upload, that document request will move from the Docs Owed into the Docs Pending Review. Now, if the borrower needs to declare a document not applicable, let's say for whatever reason they don't have tax returns, they can click on the trash can and they can provide you with a reason. Then they're asked, yes, I am declaring this document to be not applicable. They can click the checkbox, and then again, they can click submit. Just like any other document, that's going to move into the docs pending review for you to see and review this. So they can view just as well as you can all of their documents that are currently pending review. Now, if the borrower ever needs to add additional documents above and beyond what you're asking for, they can click Add New Doc. This will allow them to name their document. Let's just say this is a letter of explanation. They can put an optional description, and then again, they can browse and attach their document. I'm just going to select any document here, and then they can pick a category, whether that's assets, income, miscellaneous, or tax returns. I'm just going to say this is miscellaneous, and then they can submit it this way. Again, that document will go into your docs pending review, where you can go ahead and review and either accept or reject that document. Now, it is possible for the borrower to edit their profile details as well. Up on the top right corner, they have their email address. If they click on this, this is where they can see certain profile details like their name, their email address, phone number, and if they need to, they can edit their profile. Here they can adjust any of the information that appears to be incorrect, or maybe they have a new email that they want to use, they can enter that email address instead. They can opt in and out of deadline reminders. So if they're not a big fan of getting those, this is where they can opt out of those, as well as the text messages. And if needed, the borrower can always reset their password in here as well. Now it is possible for a borrower to e-sign as well. Let me show you how that works. Going back into my origination side of things, I'm going to quickly set up an e-signature. Now, since we're focusing mostly on the borrower side here, I'm not going to take too much time to explain this all, but I'm just going to go ahead and add a new e-signature doc to show you how the borrower can sign. And for this, I'm going to use our Floify e-sign doc option. We do have DocuSign available if that's something that you choose, but I'm going to go ahead and let's just say this is the borrower's certain auth. Let me go ahead and browse and attach that. And then I'm just going to say that the borrower is the only one that needs to sign. And forgive me, I think my internet is taking its sweet time today, so bear with me while this generates. All right, so I'll go ahead and add my tags where I need them. Let's just say I need a borrower signature. Let me shrink this down just a touch. Let's say I need a signature here, and I need a date here, and then I can go ahead and send that. Okay, now going back to my borrower side, if I refresh my page, the borrower can now see that the borrower's certain authorization is present. Now, for the borrower to sign this, they can click on the icon over to the right where it says Sign Document. Now, when they click this, the document is going to appear for them right away. They can read through the document as needed, and then they can go to the bottom and sign and date it. All they have to do is go ahead and click to sign. They can put their name, and then they consent to do business electronically and save. They can go ahead and click to date, and once that's all set, they can confirm and sign at the top. Again, that document will automatically move from the docs owed into the docs pending review for you to go ahead and review that document. Next, I want to cover the email cadence. This will let you know what emails are sent to your borrowers and when. Now, I'm going to cover these 9 emails here, and I'll give you a brief example of what those look like and also an explanation of when those are sent out. Now, the first example here is the Start New Loan application. So from your prospects page, if you add a new prospect, this is the email that gets generated. It lets them know your loan application with Boulder Mortgage Group, insert your company there, is ready to be filled out. Click here to begin applying. Now, once your borrower clicks on that link, they'll get taken into the application and begin filling out that mortgage application for you. Next is the initial needs list email. Now, this is the email that gets generated a few different ways. One is if your borrower completes the application, this email gets generated and sent out to them automatically. You will also be CC'd on this, as well as most of the emails that go to your borrower. Now, if your borrower needs to log back into the portal at any time, they have a link there that they can click on and log back in. Now, on the other hand, if you don't have the auto convert on, meaning that when a prospect fills out the application, it still sits in your prospects page until you're ready to convert it. When you convert that to a live loan, this email again gets generated for that borrower. And another way is if you manually start a loan flow from your homepage, that big blue button that you see, start a new loan flow. If you don't need the application, for instance, so you go ahead and do it that way, this is the email that will get sent out to the borrower. Now the link on the email is special because this is the only email that contains this smart link. So depending on if your borrower has logged in previously and already has a password, or if they're a brand new user, they will either get taken to a login page or new users will get taken to a create your password page before going into the borrower portal. Next is the deadline notice reminder. Now, this is the email that goes out automatically depending on how you set your cadence. So if you have it set up to go out every 2 days, every 3 days, as long as your borrower still has documents in their docs owed, this is the notice that's going to go out automatically to them. And as you can see, this particular borrower has 9 documents that are still owed when that deadline is hit. So all of those 9 documents are going to show on this email. You can disable this email if you ever choose to, and you can disable this for individual loan flows as well. You can also manually prompt it, excuse me, you can also manually send this out if you need to. The add document notice, now this one is whenever you add documents, pretty self-explanatory. So if you go into your add doc page, you add some template documents, this email is going to go out about 15 minutes later. Now, this one, the reason for the delay is just in case you have more than one document you want to add, it'll list off all of those documents that you've added, just like it does here. Now, this email can be disabled as well, or you can turn on demand reminders. So instead of it going out automatically here in about 15 minutes, you do have another option which allows you to send these out manually when you choose. And this is what that would look like if that's the case. So in your settings, if you go into your email tab and you edit your on-demand emails, if you do choose to turn on demand, when you add new documents to a loan flow, you would see this little paper airplane icon. All right, that's how you know you have an add document notice pending. Now, when you're ready to send out this email, you can click on that icon and you'll be prompted to enter a personal note if you need to. So if you have anything additional you want to add to that template email, just type it right in here and that'll show up on the email as well. The all docs accepted notice. Now, once all the documents have been accepted from the docs pending review and there are 0 documents owed, this email gets sent out to the borrower. It goes out immediately if all the docs are accepted. So if you need to request additional docs, this is a pro tip here. Make sure you request those documents before you've accepted all of the documents, because what's going to happen is the borrower could get confused because they're going to get a notice that all of the documents have been accepted, and then immediately after they're going to get an email stating that more documents are being requested. So if you remember to add the additional document request before accepting all of the documents, I find that it works a little better that way. The reject doc notice, again, pretty self-explanatory. As you go through your pending documents, for any docs that you give a thumbs down to and reject, this is the email that's going to get generated again in about 15 minutes. It's going to let them know the following documents unfortunately cannot be accepted as submitted, and it's going to list off the document name and the document description. The idle application notice. This is another one that's based on the cadence that you set in your account. But if a borrower has started an application, but they haven't fully completed it and it's been sitting there for a couple days, based on your cadence, every 2 days, every 3 days, this is the notice that will get sent out to them. So currently your application is in progress and waiting for you to finish. If you are stuck or need help to continue, do not hesitate to reach out. So you have your contact info that will show on this email. So if they have any questions, they can go ahead and reach out. The milestone updates. Now these are the updates that you will trigger manually. So depending on when you get the application or when they're pre-approved, when you ordered the appraisal, these are all of the milestone updates that'll go out. If you've been a user for some time, you're probably familiar with these. You can check these off, and these are the updates that will go to your borrower and potentially a realtor or a third party as well. A forgot password email. Now this is a common one with borrowers. Borrowers set a password, they try to log in later, they forget what it is. They can always click forgot password right on the login page. Now, if the borrower has already created a password, this is the email that they're going to receive. Hi Billy, a password reset request has been received. Please click the link below to set your new password. They click the link, pretty self-explanatory. They go to a reset password page and then they log back into the portal. Now, sometimes we have borrowers that try to log into the portal that have never logged in before. And I showed you the initial needs list email before, but that's the same email that's going to get sent out if your borrower has what we call an unverified account, meaning they've never created a password and never logged in. Now, if they do have an unverified account, if they request a forgot password or you send one out to them manually, they're again going to receive the initial needs list email. Now, the key thing here is they'll want to click that link. As I mentioned earlier, this is a smart link. It's going to know whether they've logged in previously or not. And if not, they'll be able to click the link just like they were starting the loan flow from the beginning. They'll be able to set a password and then log in. That's it for today. I just want to thank you all for joining us. And if you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please send those to support@floify.com. Have a great day.